Did you listen to Jeff and Professor Hamo in the morning? Here's what you
Ka-chink, as in the chains going ka-chink, ka-chink.
Yes. Chukua nyororo yako. Na utufuate.
Joining us live is the people's representative.
Yes.
This man doesn't tire to go to court.
Oh, yeah.
Okia Omtatah in the house right now on this Moi Day. Okia, karibu sana. Welcome to Hot 96.
Asante.
Wapi nyororo?
Hiyo kutokea wakati wa kazi.
Ni costume.
Hiyo ni costume. Oh, where do we begin? Okay, where do we begin? Referendum.
Yeah, kuna many people want the referendum. I can see the political class, but the narrative so far is a narrative between prison warders to decide how they can keep the prison intact.
It's not about
they are fearing a jailbreak.
Yes.
So they feel they need to buy bigger padlocks. So what we are going to do is that they will not run alone.
right.
We are also going to come up with counter proposals so that when we hit the ground,
Yes.
it will not be yes or no. It will be a question of this or that.
By the way, Kia, it looks like the people are not being involved at all right now.
No.
It's all about who will get this, who will get that. It's
an extension of the handshake.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do we accommodate each other as as an elite? That's what they are trying to do. And they want to expand the government so that they have more rooms for each one to occupy. And so the people need to come up with a people's charter,
Yeah.
which should counter that nonsense.
It is nonsense because, I mean, the government is bloated as it is.
Yeah.
It's completely bloated. We can't pay for this any longer.
Yeah, we need to come up and tell them we need a smaller house.
Mm-hmm.
As much as they want a bigger house, the people's agenda should be a smaller house. So that the two agendas can now be taken to the plebiscite and the people decide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, no one is even talking about what will the question be, or is this too soon to start talking about that? Because referendum, you ask a question, right?
Yeah, there should have been something tangible to be told that this is what we need. Because what they are doing is basically, in this country, the politicians have realized one thing, that Kenyans don't debate issues. They rally behind, for or against. So they take positions and campaign on issues. They never debate. And that's the advantage the politicians take.
Yeah.
But this time around, we are going to have a debate.
And is it true that most of the people never even read the last constitution?
Many people did not read it.
Correct. They didn't read it.
Yeah. And it's because of the way it was crafted. It was not meant to be read.
And it was not when in Chinese how it
was supposed to be passed and or it was supposed to be passed because when you look at the process that was being designed, unlike the South Africans who, after the committee of experts had done the draft, they deposited it somewhere for 6 months for people to engage with, and also for those who didn't want, or if you didn't grievances with it, you could then move the constitutional court. Here they did not allow that. From the committee of experts, it went to parliament, it went to the AG, then it went to the referendum. So it was not meant to be read.
No.
Yeah, because if you look at the time when the last draft left the committee of experts to when we went to the referendum, you cannot read that text and finish and understand it. That's why I say it was never meant to be read.
And you know Kenyans with reading, the best place, if you want to hide something, put it in a book or in a constitution. By the way, Okia, we forgot to tell you this in the beginning. Happy Moi Day.
Happy Moi Day to you too.
What do you think of this holiday being brought back?
It was not brought back because it was never taken away.
It was always here.
Since 2010, they decided, you know what, let's combine all the holidays, or all the holidays named after people, and call it Mashujaa Day.
What happens is that in the constitution, Parliament is allowed to create public holidays. It's not a national holiday. Mm-hmm. You are talking about national holidays.
Right. Mm-hmm.
These are public holidays.
Just public.
Yes. So what happens is that in the Act of Parliament, before the Constitution came, there was this holiday as a public holiday. What Parliament ought to have done is to repeal to amend the act to get rid of it, but they did not.
They did not.
And so it's the law.
And for 7 years we didn't realize this?
He didn't realize that until somebody moved the High Court.
Was that you?
No, it was some gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
And I usually move on more serious issues.
See my holiday. You don't need more holidays. VAT may to pay a holiday time.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't move.
So
Yes.
it was moved, and but as the law, I think the interpretation of the judge was correct. So it is Parliament, if they don't want it, to remove it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like Idul Fitr, or on these public holidays.
Yeah,
But not a national
it's
holiday.
not a national holiday. It's a public holiday.
What is the difference?
Hakuna celebrate. Hakuna Uhuru Park au Nyayo State.
Oh,
You can't have a parade, you can't have anything.
Yes.
Yes.
Also today we don't have that.
No, and then he home.
We want to do Mujibambe. My goodness. So this is just another Idul Fitri.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Christmas.
Yes.
For Christmas.
Yes.
Siku ya ubatizo. Just another one.
Yeah, just a holiday.
Oh, Boxing Day. What a joke.
Somebody is asking,
Yeah.
I mean, where do you get the motivation?
But you see, it also defines one thing. This affinity with the holidays. It is something that happens to poor people. You realize sometimes when people are very poor, they can't even wake up to go and work. But you'll find sometimes very rich people can't sleep. They're working throughout.
True.
Yeah, so it is one of the things that define us that as a country, I think we are not very keen on production.
Yeah.
Which is a major problem. We want some freebies, we want some what. Look at the way we talk about haki yetu in terms of being given, not in terms of working for it. Yeah. So those kind of things are there. So when you look at this holiday, it also, and many Kenyans would want even a holiday every week. Other than the weekend.
Yeah.
Every day
An
is a
extra
holiday.
day.
Yeah. Next day,
Yeah.
so, you know.
Yeah.
But the cost to the economy is enormous.
Yes, and we're supposed to be industrializing.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be Vision 2030
Yeah.
and Agenda 4. I mean, how do we do that with so many holidays in between?
You can't. So I think Parliament should wake up and dust up the books and remove this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You went to the courts to do with the VAT as well, Okia.
Yeah, well, still they were in court even yesterday.
Yeah.
The AG came up and said the issues I'm raising are too weighty. He wants a 3-judge bench, so which I opposed, and so we shall be back tomorrow to argue whether the case should go to the Chief Justice or it should be determined where it is.
And what are you arguing?
In terms of the bench?
Yes.
In terms of the bench, I just want the judges there to hear the case.
No, what is your case? That's what we want to know. What is your case?
My case is two. One, the process used by Parliament was wrong, and the way the President exercised his veto was wrong. And so my argument basically is that the President failed to return the bill to Parliament, and therefore the bill that was sent to him before is the law, not the one he signed.
So the bill that was sent to him,
On 13th of September.
which expired by now, 2 weeks already,
Yeah,
right? Mhm.
after 14 days,
Right.
it became law.
Uh-huh.
So what he returned, because he did not exercise his power correctly, he did not technically did not return the bill to Parliament.
But listen, Okia, I mean, how do you keep doing this?
I mean,
How do you
where do
keep
you
doing
get the
that? Yeah.
motivation?
Not even the money. Where does the money come from?
Yes.
Because filing is not free.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm not. First of all, I'm not a poor man.
You're not begging for anyone for money.
No.
Yes, you can afford to file.
Yeah, I can afford to file.
Yes.
You can check my tax returns with KRA, and I'm tax compliant, by the way. But I just got my certificate last week, so I'm tax compliant until October 2019.
Wow.
Yeah.
You have a year.
Yes, I'm a year out of compliance because of what I do.
Yes.
I always make sure I pay my taxes.
Wasiitumie kukufinya. Unajua unaenda finywa. Ila na KRA ama nyawa.
Correct. Wow. Okay, so, but what keeps you going? Okay, what is it?
There are many issues. First of all, I have a very strong Catholic upbringing within the Catholic Church. I studied the social doctrine of the Catholic Church, And before that, in the book of Genesis, there's the rule of law. The moment Adam disobeyed the law, everything fell apart. So to move forward, you must obey the law. And in the process of when things fell apart, another doctrine emerges. Where's your brother? When Cain is asked, where's your brother?
And he said,
so
am I my brother's keeper?
Yes. So you are your brother's keeper. That's one thing that also motivates me. Then when you come to the new gospel now, to the New Testament, you've got the doctrine of the Good Samaritan. You have the parable of the salt of the earth. You have the final words of Jesus to the disciples, to the apostles, that you will be my witnesses. So all those things combine together, and they give me some drive. But at the end of the day, it's also some almost addictive drive because I enjoy it. Yeah.
And you see,
I enjoy putting things right.
As a nation, we always give you something to work on. Every day there is something wrong.
And I think I deal with about 0.01% of what needs to be addressed.
How much of your time is spent in court, roughly?
Depends on some days, because what I do is the businesses I do don't require a lot of my time. Be it doing the tracks, be it doing the cereals and what have you.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of time on my hands. So sometimes I'm weak, I'm really free, and I can spend maybe every day in court. Sometimes I organize myself to be away for some time. And so I balance it like that.
Yeah. Kimeli Jr. says, leave alone the funding. When does he do all those case files? Kwani akili yake inazunguka gurudumu.
Soma za kizungu. Wachana na Kiswahili. We'll take you to court.
Inazunguka
gurudumu.
Yeah. If you understand your subject matter,
yes,
it is not really difficult to say that this is right and that's wrong. Yeah, it's as simple as that.
Callistus Murunga says, good morning, Jeff and Hamo and Omtatah. I'm always impressed with this man. I always wanted to join the priesthood like Omtatah. Keep defending us. I always pray for you, Omtatah, to live long.
Thank you.
You are also a priest.
Yeah, I nearly became a priest.
Wow. Uitwe kakuita kwa fatherhood ingine.
No. What happened was not an issue of faith or morality. I didn't lose my faith. I didn't lose my morals. I fell sick. And the kind of illness I had could not allow me to continue. Because I got an attack of epilepsy.
Wow.
And I got what you call grand mal. Grand mal is the most severe form of epilepsy. And I could get about 3-4 fits a day. So I could not continue. And I was being treated at Aga Khan. Then one time when I was playing football, I got an attack. And there was this young man who came to me and said his grandfather had taught him some 24 types of medicine, but he had forgotten everything except 2. That's for the hunchback and for epilepsy. And if I would be willing to be tested, if you could be willing to be subjected to this treatment. So I said, okay, that was in 1987. So 17th of December that year, he began treating me. And I've never had a fit from that day.
Since 1997?
Yes. I tried to get Cambridge to look into what that man has. They have not done it.
Where is he now, this man?
He's now retired. He's my primary school teacher. He's now retired. He's in Bungoma.
Has he treated other people?
I've referred 3 other people who have been treated.
Wow. For epilepsy?
For epilepsy. But then the Western medicine says there's no cure for epilepsy.
Correct.
Yeah. But more than 30 years, wow. I've not had a fit.
No attack, nothing?
Nothing.
And you had the worst form of it?
Grand mal. I used to get up to 3 fits a day, even with Western medicine. And this man just gave me a touch, and it went. But it's funny enough, up to now, they don't believe I'm cured.
They don't.
Because I've been unable to get the report saying you are cured.
Right.
And that's what stopped my priesthood studies. Because I'm a sick man.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
And priests aren't sick people? Or they don't?
Well, you can imagine if you got an epileptic attack during a Eucharistic celebration,
Yes.
it would be a complete mess.
This is true.
So it is practical. But at the end of the day,
Yes.
I saw it maybe as an opportunity that, look at what this guy told me. He was taught 24 types of medicines. He forgot 22. He only remembers 2. So how are we losing our knowledge? Traditional knowledge, how are we losing it?
Yeah. Every day.
Yeah.
Because
And that's an area that I'm very, very keen on. And I'm working with some people. In fact, I've not been able to get some Kenyan researchers who are getting interested in trying to go and have this guy and this concoction looked at so that they can isolate
Yes.
what is it that cured me in those herbs.
Amazing.
And maybe patent it and put in some doses and what have you,
Yeah.
how to use it.
Collins Jobs, heroes of the 21st century, Okia Omtatah is on board.
Oh, yeah.
Isaac Modhusi says, this man, Okia Omtatah, is ever in court. How many times has he ever succeeded?
I don't count. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And that's the fun of it.
Yeah.
But I think my success rate has been about 70 to 80%.
Oh.
Kaiser.
Yeah, Obed.
And Oliver, tell him to tell you about picture of Moi missing in the National Library, Nyeri. Yeah? what is this about?
When I read something that when I went to Nyeri
Yes.
at the public library, that's some 3 years ago, there were pictures of former presidents of Kenya. We had Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, we had Mzee Mwai Kibaki, and we had Uhuru Kenyatta. But Moi was missing. And I thought Moi was the one who ruled longest.
Yeah.
So why was he missing? And I made an issue with it, and I thought it was a tribal narrative that we should not entertain. Yeah. So I don't know whether they have corrected it, whether I've not been back there.
You haven't been back.
Yeah, but I thought it was something that was not good.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was glaringly missed out. Huh?
Yeah, right, you cannot miss Moi.
24 years.
Yeah.
24 years. Nyar Gero says, I am today grateful for Okia Omtatah. He has gone to court to fight for Kenyans in more than 100 cases. He represents selfless, active citizenship. May God protect him for us. Nyar Gero.
Brian Nyagena. Anasema the effort made by Okia Omtatah goes unnoticed by many, as he is the only Mwananchi rescuer at the moment. Congrats, Okia.
But I should say that for this country, I think maybe it's overstating to put so much praise on me, because I interact with a lot of people, and you look at the ordinary parent, you get some of these very challenged areas, and ordinary parents struggling very hard to make ends meet and educating their kids. These are somebody who is caring about the future of this country. So I think there are a lot of people who are doing the right thing. It's not just Omtatah. I may just maybe be being noticed, but at the end of the day, maybe I'm doing the list because I come across people with situations and doing very, very noble things. Like when I get somebody raising a family, there's no better contribution to any country than to raise a good family.
Yeah.
That's the best you can do for this country. And there are so many struggling Kenyan parents, be it in coast, be it in central, be it in western, be it in eastern, be it in northeastern, wherever, all struggling to make sure that the next generation of Kenyans is a modern generation, is a generation that can deliver. And so to me, those are my heroes. And those are the people who keep me going, that these people here are working, are struggling. And some do not even have the wherewithal that I have. I was lucky to get a very good education. I went to, even from secondary school, I didn't go to ordinary schools, I went to schools run by missionaries where scholarship was highly valued.
Yeah.
I'm among the very few people who sat in class and wrote in Latin in Kenya. So I had that advantage.
Wow.
So it gave me a very good foundation. I learned to interpret text. I can interpret a text very easily. So what I do, when I compare to people more challenged than I am, raising decent families To me, that's the victory of this country. Yeah.
And when you look around this country the way it is, corruption at runaway proportions. I mean, it's endemic now. And even as the president tries to crack down, I mean, there's cases popping up each and every day. People are still stealing left, right, and center.
Maybe he needs to crack up, not to crack down.
Uko juu kabisa.
Aida juu kabisa. Unaona alikasirikia mtu kwa podium. I think alikuwa na crack up.
Are we losing that battle, Okia?
No, it cannot be lost. Because we live in a moral universe. It cannot be lost. The challenges are just there. And for the president, I think I have a lot of sympathy for Uhuru because he was a reluctant leader. Uhuru never wanted this job.
Correct. From day one.
Yeah, from day one, if I understood him.
Yes.
And if you remember the 205 referendum, Uhuru voted no.
Yeah.
He drove the no group.
Correct.
Uhuru did not go with the Stevenists and what have you. But somehow along the road was captured. And I feel that his frustration is that he's unable to be his own man. And that's why when you saw like when he rained on the minister, it was more an act of frustration, an expression of frustration, because if you look at the issues, there's no way that the minister could be responsible for it. Because
you're talking about Kiunjuri the other day.
Thing, yeah. Because Kiunjuri is just a minister. You've got a parastatal. Who chairs the parastatal? He's a chairman appointed by who? By the president.
Right.
With a board and are independent. So that frustration that comes out is a frustration of, I think, a man who wants things to go a certain way.
Yeah.
But the so-called deep state is standing in his way. Yeah.
So he's caught between a rock and a hard place. And he doesn't know what to do. I mean, it's difficult to extricate himself.
Yeah, and even you look at... and so to me, what I think needs to be done, let us give him all the support he needs. For what he needs. That doesn't mean we don't criticize excesses and what have you. But let us give him all the support he needs. Even the other day, this thing on corruption, I was in a place in some forum where people are saying, if Uhuru is serious with fighting corruption, let him begin with the Kenyatta corruption. I said, no. That's asking too much of any human being. If Uhuru can fight the Odinga corruption, the Ruto corruption, the Kibaki corruption, the Moi corruption, whatever, when he goes out of power, somebody else will come and fight the Kenyatta corruption. But at least let him do something about corruption without being tied down to say that unless you do this, then do nothing. Because fighting the Kenyatta corruption or the excesses of the Kenyatta regime might be akin to knifing yourself, you see. So you have to realize that these are human beings.
Yeah.
So you might not be able to do certain things.
So you might be joeying yourself.
Yeah. So if you can do anything you can do about corruption, let it be done and let it be realized. But also let us realize that corruption has been the way people have made money in this country. So can we come up with an alternative way of making money? Can we prioritize industry? Can we prioritize creating a very competitive economy?
Catch Jeff Koinange and Professor Hamo every day, Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. only on Hot 96.